Is this the narrative there? Is this why Russians explain Putin's moves, or how Russians explain Putin's moves?
That's certainly how it's being seen here at the moment. Putin obviously didn't lay it out that way, and he hasn't talked about that. He still hasn't publicly tipped his hand on whether he wants to stay after 2024. But just about everybody in the business and political elite here expects him to try to find some way to keep his hands on the tiller going forward. So it's a challenge because there's a constitutional term limit that bans him from running again for president in 2024. And this surprise series of moves announced yesterday with the constitutional changes and the prime minister shift certainly seem to be the first steps in that, at least creating options for him for ways that he might be able to potentially create a configuration where he could still pull the strings even if he were president in the future.
Yeah, Gregory, with all of this change afoot then, I see some comments from one economist in Russia saying it's the fate of the finance minister that really matters. And with that in mind, how have we seen markets reacting to this news? What concerns do investors have?
I think that the initial market reaction was a sell-off in the ruble on the news that Medvedev was fired, just I think because of surprise. But then it came back within probably less than an hour or so. I think as investors came to remember that it's really Putin who is the guarantor of the tight money and fiscal policies here that have made Russia one of the darlings among emerging market investors. And so going forward, it doesn't look like we're expecting major policy changes. Anton Siluanov, the current finance minister, deputy prime minister, is widely respected by markets. And so I think they'd certainly like to see him stay in his job. But the new prime minister nominee who headed the tax service is broadly from the same team. And it does look like there's not a sign of major policy change with this shift in government so far, at least.